Hello, welcome to RIZZOn My Podcast. If you stumbled across this podcast, you either did so by accident because I don't really have any subscribers, and I'm not looking for any. Just kind of doing this for fun. But anyways, this is actually my second podcast today. I have that much time to kill this afternoon of June the 9th on a Thursday. I wanted to make this podcast real quick because there was an update. Chris Coughlin is back with the Cubs. He was traded in exchange for Arizmendi Alcantara, or Alcantara, however you want to pronounce it. Um, Apparently, I expected them to address the outfield. I don't know if this is a move before a move. Um, oh wait, here we go. I'm sorry. It's just coming in on my phone. It's looking like they're doing this because Tommy La Stella will likely have to go on the DL with a right hamstring strain. And Coughlin makes a lot of sense because he's similar to La Stella. He can play multiple positions. Well, unlike La Stella, he can play the outfield as well. But like La Stella, Coughlin can play, second, third if need be, and of course the outfield, as I mentioned. So what do I think of this move? Not too much. I mean, it seems like a necessity move, but I feel like it's nothing huge right now. But the injuries are starting to scare me just a little bit. I mean, you had Schwarber in Game 3 go down for the season. That sucked. This really hasn't seemed to slow them down too much. They have the best run differential by a mile. They have the most victories in the major leagues right now, and they're on pace for about 113 victories. But this is the one thing I worry about, and it's not a curse. I know I really don't want to think that, but holy shit. So you've had one left fielder go down in Schwarber, then a second one, Soler, and now Estella, who's actually been a pretty good utility guy this season. Now he's out on the DL as well. You called up Almora, and now you just made a trade to get Cogs back. Now I like Coughlin. He's actually a better player than most people think. I don't think he's a full-time starter by any stretch, but he's an excellent utility player. So this kind of leads me to what are the Cubs going to do about left field? And I mentioned this in my first podcast about moves they can make around the deadline. I think outfield is lower on the priority list, at least my priority list. I think relievers one, another power arm and rotations two. You could actually even flip-flop those if you wanted. But who do they go after? Like, I'm just trying to think of left fielders off the top of my fucking head. And, I mentioned Braun in the other podcast. I just don't think it's going to happen. They're in the same division. Reddick was a possibility. Cargo, I would take Cargo in a heartbeat. I know his injury history, but I wouldn't mind it at all. I'm trying to think of just, when you're thinking of trading pieces or players the Cubs could acquire, you have to immediately go to these shitty fucking teams around the league. And so I'm just going to bring up the teams real quick. I'm trying to just go in my head, see what outfielders could they get on crap teams. Minnesota, I don't really see any outfitters that come to mind that I think they'd go after. Well, the Angels, who are 10 back in their division. Now, this rumor was circulated about a month ago, and it's absurd, but not completely unrealistic. Maybe not for this season, but if the Angels suck next year or the year beyond, I wouldn't be totally shocked if the Cubs sold the farm for Mike Trout. The Cubs, more than most teams around the majors, have the pieces to get this done. It would take a ton, but I think they could get it done. But that's, not realistic. Let's see some other crappy teams. Atlanta, no. Philly, no. Cincy, Jay Bruce, maybe? That's interdivision, highly unlikely. Matt Kemp, I don't want any part of. Like I said, Cargo's there, maybe. I don't know. It's really hard for me to think of available outfielders on crappy teams that would be enticing. But anyway, just a thought. Little one's going nuts. She's excited about the possibility of getting a new outfielder. This podcast is a very short one, but perhaps rightfully so, since the last one was over 30 minutes long. Till next time, go Cubs go, and I'm out.